My man George Santos is making bank this week. Man, I did not realize the redemption arc that George Santos would go on this week. We were talking about this guy last week. We came to you just as he was getting expelled. We talked about it. It was great. We went through all his lies. We went through everything. George Santos said he was going to come back with a vengeance on all them asses. We said, how? He said, just wait and see. And then he turned on his Cameo, and I mean, I feel like Killer Lemonade saved the Panera business. George Santos is single-handedly saving the Cameo business. Who even talks about, I mean, Cameo was like a huge in the pandemic, but I mean, I don't really hear that much about Cameo these days anymore. Do you?
No, the buzz is definitely worn off.
Except for this week. Because George Santos shows up, and I knew it was onto something. And I mean, when I tell you, I've had my finger on the trigger multiple times. I've been as far as put in the box what you want George to say. I've been there twice, and the price keeps going up. So I saw it when it first came out. He only did a limited number of them. I don't know what the full number was, but when I first signed on the first day he did it, there were only 38 available left, which means, you know, he said, I'm going to cap it here. And they were $200 each. And I said, yes, seems like a good business expense. But when I got in there, it said, who do you want this to? I wrote hot dog. It was just my instinct. But when it said, what do you want him to say? Every time I get there, I go, I mean, no one is going to care in a week. No one's going to remember who George Santos is. This is a very fly-by-night celebrity. Like, nobody's going to care.
Has an expiration date on it.
Big time expiration date, but it is so amazingly hilarious right now. And I go, no. Then he opens them back up because it becomes a whole thing and it goes viral and everything. And Cameo is like, you got to open them back up. I'm sure they called him, open them back up.
Mr. Cameo. Hey, pal.
Yeah, exactly. And I went on today and I did it again. It was like, what do you want him to say? I was like, do I want him to shout out the Not Samsonites? Do I want him to record a video advertising Sam Roberts now? And it's like, I mean, what's the real ROI here other than me chuckling?
A good laugh.
You know, a good laugh right now. Am I getting a return on investment? So I didn't do it. And he's raised the price, by the way. Now, as of today, and it's only going to go up, a George Santos Cameo is $500.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
And, like, it was too, like, I'm like, this would be funny. And at $200, it's a no-brainer. But at $500, it almost gets to the point where unless you have something amazing for him to say, you paid $500 for that is the answer.
Yes.
And I didn't want that. And I didn't have anything amazing. If I come up with something amazing or you guys send me something to send to him that's amazing, I'll totally do it. But there have been some good ones already. Did you see some of these George Santos cameos, Hot Dog?
I saw the one that Fetterman
yes.
purchased.
Fetterman was the first to troll him. I guess Fetterman had him say something about one of his political rivals.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like this one.
Hi, Katie. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the kindness. You know, Botox keeps you young. Fillers keeps you plump. Mwah.
What are you doing, dude? Fillers keeps you plump. Mwah.
Dang. Representative just a couple days ago.
What a wild guy.
Keeps you young. Fillers keeps you plump. Mwah. Look, don't let the haters get to you. Haters are going to hate.
That's a great point, dude.
And if you have haters, that means you're doing something right, girl. So just keep going. You know, you're a Harvard Law School girl. Like, are you kidding? You have haters. Let them hate.
Yes.
Like, just do you, girl. Screw the haters. Enjoy life. Live life.
It's really interesting when George Santos is like, screw the haters, you're going to do you. Because if it's like, I'm having trouble in my life, you know who I'd like advice from? And somebody went, George Santos? I'd go, no, of course not.
Well, if anyone knows about the haters, it's him.
He got thrown out of the House of Representatives.
A bunch of haters in there.
Right.
Can you deny that? There's a bunch of haters in there.
I cannot deny that. But he cannot tell me that I know how to win against the haters. He's lost. He got thrown out of the House of Representatives. Like, why would you?
Yeah, but look who's charging $500 on Cameo. Who's really winning?
Is there anybody else in the House of Representatives that could turn over 5 bills for a Cameo?
I don't think so.
I don't think
Unless
so
AOC
either.
starts showing some feet.
AOC could do very well on a feet site. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. But that's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And she would probably have to put out that video that they did with her when she was in college one more time so everybody could remember. Like, oh.
Yeah.
And make sure that all these haters in your life, they can go all you know where. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
I like that he's like making sure I don't want to say anything that's going to ruin my future political career. Like, he's pretty sure it ain't over, right? And he thinks that maybe if he says hell, that would be bad for his political career. Not the fraud. not the...
They can go to heck.
Yeah. Yeah. HE double hockey sticks. I don't want to go any further than that. I have a political career to worry about. Anyway, I have fraud charges also. Like, what are you...
In your life, they can go all you know where. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, and...
George Santos wishing you a Happy Hanukkah is a flex.
Because he's Jew.
Ish.
Let 2024 be filled with everything that 2023 was lacking in. Mwah. Bye.
See, that's great. That's great. Don't you want some advice like that?
What a stand-up guy.
Can you imagine what your life has to be like for you to go, man, things were really bad. But then George Santos let me know it was all going to be okay, and I feel better now.
Like, unironically, someone got a Cameo.
Oh, my God.
Like, man, thanks.
I never even thought of that. What if I just let the haters hate?
Hate.
Is there any, like, more not thoughtful or thought-provoking advice than, girl, you got to let those haters hate? Like,
I never thought of it that way.
yeah, I mean, it's just so mundane.
You know who's also $500 on Cameo? Ric Flair.
Woo! You probably get him to say some wild stuff.
I'm just looking at people that are comparable in pricing right now.
Yeah. That seems like a lot for Rick, to tell you the truth. Not that he doesn't deserve it, but, you know.
It seems like he put 500 because he doesn't want to do.
Yeah, and I respect that. I respect that. How about this one?
Attention all sussy rumblers.
It's for the sussy rumblers.
What does that mean?
It means rumblers who are very, very sus. You know, it's one thing to be a rumbler. I mean, does it mean you use Rumble, but you're also quite sus?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever thought about being a sussy rumbler?
I've been called sus on occasion, but
I can see that.
Rumbler.
You're super sus.
Yeah.
Attention all sussy rumblers. I've been alerted that Sneeko is a soy grifter and likes to be twerked on by...
Not a soy grifter. Did somebody just like go through the list of
fresh oily
of Time magazine's like slang this year, top slang this year, and just put every word in this?
It's soy in the slang?
Yeah, soy boy.
That's been around for 8 years now.
I mean, so is grifter, so is sus, but you know, people find it when they find it.
Is a soy grifter and likes to be twerked on by fresh oily butt in the club. Love Speech wants to thank you for being a cock and helping us escape the Matrix. Lots of love, George Santos.
Now, wait a minute. Why is that okay and saying go to hell is not?
I don't know. Let me listen to this again. I feel like if you look in his eyes, he realizes that he shouldn't be saying these things, but also, I mean, is making so much money now that he's like, I guess, because a part of him might think maybe this is my career now. Maybe I'm just a Cameo man. He doesn't realize that this is like, this doesn't last until Christmas. If you get a George Santos cameo for Christmas, It's almost like, I mean, I guess 2 weeks ago, right? Thanks.
Hey, I almost thought about giving it to my Secret Santa.
You would do this. Like this is a very you thing to do.
Yeah, well.
Where it's like, okay, all right.
Everybody better cross their fingers they don't get me.
Yeah, because it's a buzzy thing. You love a buzzy thing. Yeah. I'm going to try to figure out what he's saying.
Attention all sussy rumblers.
Sussy rumblers.
I've been alerted that Sneeko is a soy grifter.
Sneeko's a soy grifter.
Worked on by Fresh Oily Butt in the club.
Okay, Fresh Oily Butt.
Love Speech wants to thank you for being a cock and helping us escape.
Like thank you for being a cock.
Cock and helping us escape
the Matrix. Lots of love, George Santos.
Like this feels like it's like an Andrew Tate video or something like that.
Escape the Matrix. Love Speech wants to thank you for being a cock and helping us escape the Matrix. No
way he knows what he's saying. Like, he's reached the point on Cameo where he will just read whatever you send.
I mean, the guy loves money, as shown by all his scams.
Right. He is a big fan of money. But, like, you can't, on Cameo, it's not enough to just go, well, if it's clearly something I shouldn't be saying, I just won't say it. If you don't understand what, like, people think that because it's on Cameo, then they can't be held liable. Like there was a time when just doing a commercial, people would call you a sellout. Now you've got people that are saying these things and they're going, it's okay. I don't mean any of it. I'm only saying it because I got some money to say it. You're like, and that's...
You can say anything. You can say, fuck you, I'm going to fuck your wife.
Anything.
I'm going to kill you. But there's a Cameo watermark on that?
Right. They wrote it in the description. They asked me for that. I'm providing a service. This is my favorite one. This is a new one from today.
Hey Heath, George Santos here. I'm so proud of you for coming out as a furry, and I...
Oh, God.
He's coming out as a furry hot dog.
Heath, George Santos here. I'm so proud of you for coming out as a furry, and I just wanted to tell you that your friends and family all accept you, and they're all excited about your persona, which is awesome to be a beaverpuss.
A beaverpuss hot dog. Isn't that what you wanted to be?
I've yet to come out as a furry, but give me some more courage in a couple of years, and I'll do it.
You'll be a beaverpuss?
Yeah.
Excited about your persona, which is...
Oh, fursona. I just heard that. I didn't realize that's what it's called. I thought he said persona. Fursona. Like your persona, if you're a furry, is a fursona. I didn't know that.
And they're all excited about your persona, which is awesome to be a beaverpuss, a beaver and a platypus. So let me tell
platypus? Platypus?
What these are just words at this point.
It's a platypus is the animal. A platypus?
What a waste. This is a waste of a Cameo.
No, it isn't. To get somebody 1 week removed from the House of Representatives to congratulate your fan, your friend on being a half beaver, half platypus furry is not a waste of a Cameo. It's how far can we take this person from humanity? You see?
I guess, but I could only imagine whoever received that Cameo got a slight chuckle.
Like,
no,
I'd be pretty psyched if somebody gave this for me, because then we could look at this guy and go, what a total idiot this guy is. Am I right? You're not a beaver puss.
And a platypus. So let me tell you, they all love you, beaverpuss. Don't you ever get your head down, and don't you ever let anybody tell you what you can and can't be. I'm so proud that the corporate folks at Arby's gave you the go-ahead to go to work in your persona.
I mean, there's nobody at Arby's dressed as a beaverpuss.
And this is so long.
He just
keeps going.
Well, that's the trick. If you're going to make the investment, you should make as meaty a description as humanly possible. Can you congratulate him on being a beaver-puss? By the way, a beaver-puss is a half beaver, half platypus. Also, his friends and family support him. Also, shout out to Arby's for letting him go to work dressed like this. Like, I feel like you're just like drinking with friends, or you're high, and you're writing and writing. Can we get him to say this? Oh, tell him I work at Arby's. Okay, and you work at Arby's.
Any other requests?
Yeah, and then he just does all of it, and and he does them quick apparently too. Like there are people that are going, yeah, 15 minutes later, I got this cameo. So the buzz probably hasn't even worn off, and they're getting an alert. Oh my God, he actually did it. Oh my God.
Well, he ain't got much going on.
If you to go ahead to
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have to go to work.
Work in your persona. So if you could just, live it up and be as perfect as you want, just keep doing you and yif. Bye.
Yif.
What does that mean?
I think it just
It's
said,
provocative.
It said, could you please close the video with yif, I believe is what happened. That's not a George Santos thing. Unless I go through.
Okay, it's not his closer.
It would be great. Oh my God. His username is Georgie's Cameos. Georgie.
Ew.
Yeah, he wants to be like somebody that we stan now all of a sudden. Because his cameo description is like politician / icon, and then the emoji of fingernails being painted. He's calling himself an icon, emojis, fingernails painted. So I don't think
calling himself a gay icon. So.
I think he is. I don't know exactly what the plan is here. I
think the plan is he's going to try to angle himself into the next season of Dancing with the Stars.
And he'll get it. 100% he'll get it. Now is the perfect time. Because they've run out of like stars. Like they might have one big star per season. And then they'll have George Santos's.
And that show likes to whitewash politicians after they leave.
They do. It's like a money laundering scheme, except instead of money, it's shamed politicians.
Look how silly they are dancing.
Right. See, it's like we do something very shameful. Then we go on Dancing with the Stars. It cleanses us. And then post-dancing, people forget because the last thing they saw you on is Dancing with the Stars. And it was such a raucous good time that here we are.
And he's going to be the big get. He's going to be like the star of that season.
100%. I agree with you. I can't. Or he'll have to hit up the Beaver-puss and he'll be working at Arby's. It's one or the other at this point.
Or he'll be in prison.
Could be. I forgot about the federal charges. Yes. He could be in prison. The cameos are probably to pay legal bills.